Hello, you're listening to WZNV The Club. I'm your host, Rina Smart. Sip my drink. Last episode, my OBS was saying that my mic was maxing out. And it has just now said that my mic was maxing out. I went back and looked at the footage, and my mic wasn't even close to maxing out. It was actually just like a normal sounding. Uh-oh, what have I done? It was not even close to maxing out. It was literally just vibing. So I talk to Celeste very not frequently. Let's talk to Celeste. No, but last episode I tried to get on track, and of course I talked for 15 minutes about what my topic wasn't and 0 minutes about what my topic was. And it's actually not like a me complaining kind of thing. It's actually like a debate, like, should games be balanced around the best players, the worst players, or something in between? Because I know that our beloved game, Dead by Daylight, it's got some issues. It's got some issues for sure, for sure. It's being balanced around, allegedly, the worst players, I think. I don't know, I saw a video about it and they were like, this is why Dead by Daylight shouldn't be balanced around the worst players. This is why it shouldn't, because that would be bad. We don't want it to be balanced around the worst players, because the worst players, or no, we don't want to be balanced around the best players, because if it was balanced around the best players, then everybody else would have a terrible, terrible time, right? And I guess it kind of goes the other way around. Like, we don't want it to be balanced around the worst players either, for my points last episode, because if it's balanced around the worst players, then the good people can just take advantage of that, and now the game is an absolute shitfest. Like, it's absolutely terrible. The shitty players are still getting shit on because they're shitty, except now they think they're not shitty and they buy a DLC. So that's the argument there. So, like, a middle ground maybe, but like a middle ground sounds like a cop-out answer. Like, should we or should we not butcher the player base? Or butcher the bad player base until they get better. And I'm trying to think of a game that is superbly balanced. And when I think about games that are superbly balanced, that's what they are. Like let me get some facts straight. Just because I say superbly balanced, that in no way means that it is good. Like, for example, look at our beloved Huniepop. Do you think that Pearl Necklace should be in this game? You can be honest. Just because you like using it doesn't mean you can say that it deserves to be in the game. Right? Because it's good. It's a little on the strong side, is the way I'll describe it. It's on the strong side. Should leopard print pumps be in the game? They're on the strong side, but are they too strong? Right? Just because a game is good doesn't mean it's balanced, and it's vice versa. Like, just because it's balanced doesn't mean it's good. Let's talk about another beloved game. How about Modern Warfare 2? Like, that's a good game, right? Like, it had its issues, but its issues were what made it quirky and made it, like, enjoyable.
Very impressive.
Unfortunately, when I played Modern Warfare 2 when I was a kid, I didn't play it as much because I just preferred Modern Warfare 1, because, like, mere exposure effect. It was the first game I played, so I just liked it more. But then I went back and played it as like an older person. Like, I was probably like 16 when I played it the second time, like 15 or 16, and is absolutely like one of the best games I've ever played. Like, it was just an enjoyable multiplayer experience. And was that game balanced? No, absolutely. Like, that's probably, when I think of bad Call of Duty balance, that's like the poster child. Like, that game was like not balanced at all. Like, you could lose the whole game. You could just get thrashed. But you go on a 25 kill streak and you win the whole game. That doesn't sound very fair to me. But like, Harriers were like, what was it? 7 kills or was it 5 kills? I think Harrier was 7. Harriers were 7 kills and sometimes got more kills than like higher up kill streaks. Like, they had like super strong auto locking. What else? Can I get a moon, please? That's not a moon. Yeah, this board is terrible, but like, I've made no moves, so yeah.
Outstanding.
Where was I going? What point was I at?
Very impressive.
The game was not balanced at all. Like, that's like, I'm just talking about kill streaks right now. Like, you want to talk about like the one-man army, the noob tube? Like I said last episode, there were games where you would legitimately never get out of spawn because people would noob tube you until the end of the game. They would go like 75-0. They would never see an enemy. They would just launch tubes across the map and just get kills because that's just how the game functioned. Was it annoying? Probably. Was it fun? Yeah, absolutely. I think it was fun. Probably in my opinion, the best mixture of both was Modern Warfare 3. But there's the issue, right? Because Modern Warfare 3 isn't as universally beloved as Modern Warfare 1 and Modern Warfare 2. Like, it's not even close. To be real. I know that there might be some people that watch this video that might disagree with that. Because they didn't play Modern Warfare 2 and they played Modern Warfare 3 more. That's just some lore for you. But no, like, Modern Warfare 1 and 2 were probably more universally beloved, but what was more balanced? Like, I understand, right, that the FMG9s, you could dual wield and, like, what was it, rapid fire or suppressor, depending on how you felt that day. No reason you should be able to do both of those things. You can just do both of it if you, like, glitch the game. One time I put a grenade launcher on my sniper rifle just cause, like, it was a glitch, but like it never got patched or whatever. But like overall, like when I look back, there were some good guns. Like obviously, like the ACR was really good again. What else was good? The FMG9s were really good. The MP7 was really good. I don't know if people thought the Striker was good or not. I thought it was decent. Sorry if I'm giving you any Call of Duty flashbacks, but it must be said.
What a neat thing. That's most gracious of you. Incredible.
Where was it going? Black Ops? No.
Stellar.
It had some guns that were strong, but I don't look back on any of the guns and just think like they were unusable. Like, some of the pistols were kind of bad, like, duh, but, like, I remember all of the guns being, like, decent. There were some that were really good, but I don't remember them being, like, glaringly overpowered. But, like, you look at, like, the game they released this year, Modern Warfare again, and, people complain about the M16. I haven't played the game, so I don't really have grounds to, critique it on. But, like, it seems like in an effort to balance, they threw balance out of the window. Like, they threw the baby out with the bathwater, I guess, is what it boils down to. Like, oh, let's protect new players by making brain-dead decisions about map making. And maybe that'll work. XD? Doubt it. But go off, I guess. No, but like, how do you make maps? Like, I understand, right? They are the game developers. They know more about developing games than I do. A little lowly old Rina. But like, how can you just throw everything you know about map making out of the window, right? Because like, a lot of people were complaining, oh, we don't want the same 3-lane maps as, you know, the same old, right? We want new maps that aren't 3-laned. Right? So they're like, oh, I see you want no more 3-lane maps. What if we just made an absolute circus? What if we just made an absolute circus for us clowns to just get our clown on at? And I guess that's just what they did, because I haven't played the game, right? But I have looked at the maps, like I have watched gameplay of the maps, and like I haven't played it, right? I can look at it and just tell these maps are garbage. Like, they belong in the bin. That's just my opinion, though. You might think they're stellar, like Celestier.
Exceptional.
I look at them, I think, put that in the bin. It needs to get out of here ASAP Rocky. It's just, get him out of Sweden. That's an American citizen. Get him out. And, those are facts. That's just game balance. So like, I don't know. I think the idea of we're going to sell games, or no, we're going to sell DLC instead of games, kind of shitty. It's a pretty shitty thing to do for the sake of money.
Incredible.
Right? But it's not like video game companies were going bankrupt before. Like, it's not like they were like, oh, we're starving for cash. Like, we just need the cash now, or we can't afford to make the new game. We can't afford to exist as a company unless we sell a bunch of DLC and cosmetics and garbage, you know, because we can. Right? I think it's just like, it's predatory on people who like collecting things. It's predatory on children that don't know like concepts of money. I think it's just a shitty practice in general. You don't need me to tell you that. You don't need me to tell you that it's a bad practice. They had a conference in what was it, Germany, about this, about whether loot boxes should be allowed or not. It's the same principle. Microtransactions. Do you think microtransactions should be allowed or not? Same principle, and everyone, and if you're like oh yeah, free market, laissez-faire. I loved back in the 1920s when you could pay your workers 1 penny an hour, and if they striked, you called the police and then they got killed, and then you just hired new workers. I loved those days. Those were the good old days. To be fair, to be truthful. I loved those days. When an entire family of 4 had to work 90 hours a week to afford 1 loaf of bread. I don't know what they did. I just know that I'm in history, and this is a topic that we talked about. I don't know, laissez-faire, more like laissez, get him out of here, got him. Just because the market can regulate itself doesn't mean it's going to regulate itself in a way that is conducive to good practices. It regulates itself to make more money, not to have good practices. But you don't need me to tell you that. You need me to tell you goodbye. That's the game, baby. Where was I at? I don't know. I just think it's kind of shitty that they're like, we don't want to sell games, we want to sell DLC. Because if they wanted to sell games, the games would be better, right? If they wanted to sell DLC, then the game can be shitty on purpose, and then they fix it with DLC. Like, I paid $60 for an unfinished game. I might as well pay the additional $60 to get an actual game. That is just my opinion. You might love DLC. Comment down below if you love spending $120 for the same amount of content that you would have gotten for $60 back in 2012. I'm waiting. I don't know. That's it. That my trilogy will culminate next episode when I talk about motherfucking how angry I am that I don't have all the legendary skins in Overwatch. This has been WZMV the Clap. See ya.